Well, hello, brothers and sisters. We are continuing looking at Proverbs and Psalms one after the other, back and forth, just looking at the ways we could twist it out of context, giving a meaning that's not meant to be. And we're back in Proverbs right now. And this one I've actually heard many times in more conservative circles, which I've been a part of for a long time. And it's the one found in Proverbs 22. It's verse 6 that says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it." Well, there you go. It's a promise. I mean, teach your kids right. They won't depart from it. They will stay faithful when they get older. Well, is that really the way to approach the Proverbs? I mean, there is a basic rule that this is Proverbs and not absolutes. This isn't God saying this will absolutely always happen. This is God saying this will probably lead to this. It's a book of wisdom. It's a book of teaching the way to live in this world and the way it should be. And I know people resist that. People might have struggles with this. So let's just look at the few of the proverbs that come right before it. I mean, I know it's hard to find a context with proverbs. Sometimes it's really one teaching after another that had no meaning, no connection one to another. But still, let's just look at the verse 4 and verse 5. Verse 4 says, "The reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life." Well, I have known a lot of humble, loving Christians who fear the Lord and are not rich. Well, then this proverb is a lie. How about verse 5? "Thorns and snares are in the way of the crooked. Whoever guards his soul will keep far from them." Well, is this a promise that if you watch your soul, if you're careful the choices you make and the way you live and the way you guard your heart, you'll be sure to never have trials or snares or be trapped in something? Well, again, brothers and sisters, I've known good, faithful Christians who've been caught up in stuff. That's just the reality of the world, of this Christian life. They even call trials sometimes. So two for two. The dude can't make absolutes out of verse 4 and verse 5. So why does verse 6 become an absolute for us? And I understand the hearts of parents, they want verse 6 to be an absolute. And I'm not here to crush your dreams, but I am here to say we should be careful the way we apply it. It is true that we should be training up the children, teaching them the way they should go, teaching them the way of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, like the book of Proverbs is trying to do. But to say that they'll never depart or they'll always come back, they'll always be prodigal children, and if they're not, it's because you didn't do a good job, which I have heard by so many of these conservative Christians taking this verse out of its context and applying it in a way that's not supposed to. So let's be careful about that, not to not judge or press people because of your understanding of this verse. This is just a good rule and a good possibility, but it's not an absolute. And I do this not to crush people's hopes, but to remind us to keep verses in its context, to understand them in the proper book context, book of Proverbs here, so we can really, and I would even add as the proper historical context. This was given under the Old Covenant, a different way of acting and living with God than the New Covenant. And all these little details are important when we approach the Word of God. And that's the point of this latest series, is trying to remind us of this important truth that we need to be careful the way we approach the Word of God. And making sure that we understand everything in its proper context. So we get the full meaning of what God is saying. So again, yes, teach your kids right, but don't think that God owes you the fact they return. And don't use this to judge all the kids that did go astray, that automatically they were bad parents. They didn't do their job right. That's not the way to understand this verse. With this, brothers and sisters, let's love each other. Be blessed.